Well, hey everybody, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us here at The Baby's Booty. I can see I'm not muted for a change, so we need to almost ring the bell. Ring the bell for that. How is everyone doing this evening? I am Eve with The Baby's Booty, and I want to welcome you to our channel. Thank you for joining us. If you are in the Louisiana part of the world, my prayers are with you. Please hang tight, stay safe. I was in a webinar here just shortly, so I haven't been able to check lately. So hopefully everyone is still safe and doing okay. And let us know how things are in your neck of the woods and that you're hanging in there because I am quite concerned about. We have quite a few viewers in the Louisiana area, so just hopefully you guys are doing okay. But here on our channel, we do embroidery, we do DTF, we do rhinestones, we do vinyl, we do sublimation. I mean, we cover a lot of different crafting topics, and I try to rotate through different topics so that we can keep it fresh and interesting for everyone who tunes in on our channel. But tonight, y'all, tonight is going to be a really cool project. It's a super cool project, actually. And I was over the moon when I figured it out. And I want to say thank you definitely to Lori. And I want to make sure I'm saying it right, Lori Newmaker. She has, over the past few years, been doing sewing projects with placemats. And she normally uses like the Pioneer Woman placemats from Walmart. It makes some really cute little totes and bags and zipper pouches and stuff like that. Well, y'all, I got a problem. I have a bad problem. And I've mentioned it a couple of times to you guys, but I don't know if y'all know how bad this problem is. So what had happened was I went to Hobby Lobby and I was looking for one thing. And I found the one thing. But something said, why don't you go over and check the clearance section? And I was like, Eve, you don't need to go to the clearance section because you know if you go to the clearance section, you're going to spend money that you don't need to be spending because you can't help it. It's just something about seeing the word clearance and seeing something about percentage off that you just lose your mind and you spend money. And I was like, you know what, self, shut up. I deserve this. I'm going to the clearance section anyway, and so I did. Oh my God, y'all, the spring selection, the spring collection part. The last time I was in Hobby Lobby, the spring collection part was like 40% off, and they had a bunch of crazy stuff over there and a bunch of junk. This time, the spring collection section was like this big. It was like really compact in one little section, and it was 90% off. Y'all, I lost my blame mind. I really did. I'm not gonna, I mean, I can't even pretend like I had self-control. I didn't, right? So we're gonna go over to the cutting table and I'm gonna show you the hot food foolishness that was 90% off that I spent, but that 90% is gonna be a good show tonight because I'm gonna show y'all how to make this. Isn't it super cute? It's a little zipper pouch. Oh my God. So this is a top zipper pouch. It is fully lined, and I'll show you how we are going to make this in the hoop, right? In the hoop. So in the hoop, if you're not familiar with embroidery, in the hoop, that terminology means that I can make this completely on the embroidery machine. I don't need to use a sewing machine or anything else, kinda, at all in order to make this. Now, I say kinda because there is one part of making this pouch where you have to close it up, but technically you don't absolutely have to do it, but you do. And I don't use a sewing machine for it. I use hem tape, stitch witchery. If you're not familiar with it, you will be by the end of this particular tutorial. So this is so stinking cute, y'all. I was like, OMG, I have to show y'all how I did this. So that's what we're going to be doing on the show tonight. So please hang tight, and I look forward to showing y'all how super cool that is going to end up being. But meanwhile, I definitely want to welcome each one of you to this channel, because without you all taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here on our channel tonight, I wouldn't have a channel. I'd be in here talking to myself. And I can do that. You know, I'm real good at talking to myself, but I don't want to talk to myself. I like interacting with you guys. So if you're in here, please chime in, say hi, let us know where you're in here from. Let us know if it's your first time joining us. And we're going to have a really good time tonight, as long as my microphone cooperates, my camera, y'all know how it goes. We can't have a show without something acting monkey. So as long as everything doesn't act monkey, we're going to have a great show, right? So let's go ahead and say hi to everyone that has joined us in the chat tonight. It starts out with EJ's daughter, and EJ's daughter is a member here on YouTube. Okay, so you can be a member here on YouTube. We do have different levels of memberships that you can join, and I am eternally grateful for every membership that's here on this channel, and I am thankful for you guys for supporting this channel. And we like to give a shout out to those who are members here on the YouTube channel, and there is a link in the description below if you would like to be a member too, because members get super cute emojis that I made. It's so super cute. Like, you get a purple bell emoji. If you got a purple bell emoji, go ahead and ring your purple bell emoji down in the chat. Also, if you're a paid member here on the channel, you get to ask for a bell, and I'll send it to you as a part of your membership. All right, so if you want to do that, become a member and go to my website, click the link, and we'll get a bell out to you. So EJ's daughter, thank you so much for being a member here on our YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. Isabel Morgan Catlett, good evening to you as well. Hi, Sheila Cushionberry, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Kenya Wilson, thank you for joining us. Mina Rose from Canada, welcome, Mina. Thank you for joining us this evening. Miss Crafty Creations, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Ethel Smith, good evening to you as well from Georgia. Hopefully you guys aren't getting any of this weather. It looks like it's going to miss us all together. We shall see. But thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Mary Brown, good evening to you. Gail Moore, good evening. Gorgeous Rose, hello, hello. How are you? Making bling shirts tonight? That's awesome sauce. Make sure to post pictures so that we can see all the lovely bling. You know, we like to see bling. And good evening to you as well. I am doing well. Leela Nelson, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Carmen Alvarado, thank you. Yes, all be safe, she says. Thank you very much for that, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Time you, what's up? Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well, and thank you for joining us this evening. Susan Green, hello, how are you? Cecilia Rodriguez, hello, how are you? Me Creatively by Kim, hello to you as well, my dear. Thank you for joining us. 2011 Miss Max, hello. Thank you for joining us and for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. Let us see. Sheila Cushionberry says, before long, you'll have to change name to Eve's Everything Group. I know, it's so sad. I just need to, yeah, coffee power, see what had happened. I mean, that's pretty much how that went down, and how I had to, you know, say it to the mister as well, because, you know, he was like, you was gone a long time. And I was like, I mean, yeah, because, I mean, like, even though the clearance was this big, you still got to look, you know, y'all understand. Y'all get me right. I'm not the only one that's crazy. I hope I'm not the only one that's crazy like that. Over a clearance, girl. Oh, 90%. And I'm going back to, don't tell them. I'm going back tomorrow to see if they have any more. So, yeah. Let's see. Who else is here? Sheila Cushionberry says, it's like chips. You can never stop at just one. We ain't gonna talk about that just yet. Miss Pressure 412, hello, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Lupe, hey Lupe, how are you? Susan Green, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Pearl Lucas, hi, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Miss Pressure says, I got my new heat press and Epson 4700 Echo Tank printer. You know what that means. Congratulations, Miss Pressure, on your new babies. Woo! Yes, congratulations. Congratulations on your new babies. Be sure to post pictures of some of the cool stuff you will be making with your new babies. We would love to see it. Let us see. Big boy Prince. What's up, big boy? You too. I love it. How are you this evening? Thank you for joining us. I appreciate you being here. And if you guys didn't know, Big Boy Prince has a channel, All DTF. Really awesome channel. Go check him out if you haven't already. We did an interview. It was a lot of fun. So if you want to check that out, please do on his channel. Pamela Bradley White, hello, how are you? Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member, and thank you for joining us this evening. Me Creatively by Kim says 90% off. Who would have control? I'm trying to tell y'all. I mean, even if it had been 75% off, I would have lost, some kind of stuff. But 90, I was like, forget it. I'm finna buy this stuff, and I'm gonna figure out something to do with it. And it took me a while. But when I saw placemats, I immediately thought about Lori Newmaker. And if you haven't checked her out either, Lori Newmaker, if you sew at all, these zipper pouches or her pouches that she makes with the placemats are so simple. They're so simple. She makes it really easy. So check her out as well. Let us see. Destiny Benjamin. Hey, Destiny Benjamin, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. 3Gen Print. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Carol Coleman. Hey, love. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Marissa Dandridge, hello. Happy Sunday to you as well. Allison Holloway, I love In the Hoop projects. They're my favorite. Yes, they are a lot of fun. So Crafty, hello, Elise. Welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. And thank you for joining us. Queen X, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. 2011 Miss Max, the baby is over there, but the baby is still in ICU. So we have to wait until the baby is out of ICU before we can formally introduce. So hopefully surgery will go well. We have a donor. What is it called? I'm trying to be silly with it, but I'm being honest. It's you get not a transfusion. When you get a organ transplant, we got a transplant coming in tomorrow. Red eye. So hopefully that'll be here and we can get the baby out of ICU, but I'll let you know. T. Johnson, hello, how are you? Welcome. Christy Guza from Minnesota, thank you for joining us for the first time. Susan523, hello. Yes, it is a super cute bag. I was so impressed with myself. I couldn't believe it. But I mean, technically it wasn't me. It was mainly Lori's idea, but I put Lori's idea with designs by Little B Bag because I was going to bust out the sewing machine and I was like, when do I bust out the sewing machine on my channel? I just don't. So sewing machine really isn't an option, but I do embroider and I do stuff in the hoop. So I searched you guys for hours trying to find the perfect bag. Designs by Little B had it, so it worked out really well. I'm super excited to show that to you guys. Valley Girl for Life Creations. Hello. Hey, Valley Girl. What's up? Welcome. Thanks for joining us from New York City. Cecilia Rodriguez says, pray for New Orleans. Yes, ma'am. Definitely for certain. Because I just could not imagine having to go through that. What did they say? 13 years to the day? That is just insane from Katrina. Just like the same day and everything. It's crazy. Unreal. Yvette, hello from Pennsylvania. Welcome. Diana Henderson, hello. How are you? Welcome. Miss 143 says, hi, Eve. First of all, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member, Miss 143. I appreciate that. She says, hi, Eve and everyone. Ring the bell for me, please. My baby's craft sewing room got a new, bigger home Monday when we close on our new house. Oh my God. Yes, a craft room. Definitely. We can ring the bell for a new craft room. Woo! Yes. Congratulations, Miss 143. Holler. We all need a place for all of our babies to live. That is a part of our setup. So congratulations on that. Coffee Powered Home, Liz from Chicago. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, Liz. I appreciate you being here. Annette from South Georgia, first time, welcome. Thank you, Annette, for joining us this evening. Let's see, Kathy Barker, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. The Crafty Puerto Rican, hey, love, how are you? Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and good evening to you as well. Sarah Ann Creations, first time, welcome. Thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. Miss Debbie D's in the house. Hey, Debbie D. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And thank you for joining us this evening. Sharon DeBerry, good evening from Massachusetts. Welcome, welcome. EJ's daughter says, I'm going to Hobby Lobby tomorrow. Wait till you see it. I'm going to show it to you. It's so exciting. I'm so excited. Maddie Washington, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Simone Warren, hello, welcome. Miss D Purple One, hello. Destiny Benjamin says 90% off where? What did I miss? Hobby Lobby. Wait till you see it. I'm going to show you guys. The Scrapping Diva Felisa, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Yas, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Sheila Cushionberry says Lori's placemat bags, pouches are so stinking cute. Love her channel. Yes. Absolutely love those placemat bags. It is just awesome how easy it is to make them. Kristen Smith, hello. Ms. Beckham, hey Ma, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I appreciate it. Carmen Alvarado says, Eve, I bought the Cricut Easy Press 12 by 10 lilac color. We'll be using it for my canvas sublimation. Girl, you know we got to ring the bell for anything purple. So, yes, congratulations. Woo! Yes, purple, purple. We like purple. Purple in the house, girl. Congratulations on your Easy Press. Holler. Let me find out Easy Press is purple. I probably wouldn't have self-control. Deborah Harris Neal, good evening. How are you? PJ, hello. How are you? Welcome. PG, sorry. PG, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Miss Precious says, can't wait to do a Parker on the Porch design. We need to find a Parker on the Porch design, and we will definitely do one. Mickey Peterson, hello. Welcome. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I really appreciate it. She says, I'm feeling happy tonight. Did 5 HTV shirts with 2 with transfer paper and 1 with rhinestones. All your instructions really work. I appreciate you letting me know that. Thank you very, very much. We try really hard to make things simple and easy to understand. So thank you for the feedback on that. So Crafty, yes, community tab is your savior with finding out our information. So that is what's up. Captains have access to that information, and I'm glad you have it now. Stella Bird, hello from Michigan. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Susan Green from Louisville. You just bought a Silhouette Cameo 4. I'm so excited about getting my feet wet. Do you have any tutorials on cutting vinyl? I do have tutorials on cutting vinyl. However, my tutorials are mainly in Cricut. However, a lot of the things are the exact same. But I do really need to unbox, even though I've unboxed it already, but take my Silhouette 4 out and use it. I really need to do that. So at some point, we'll probably start doing some videos with it, but for the time being, we're going to ring the bell for you and your Silhouette Cameo 4. Woo! Yes! Congratulations! Cameo 4. Cameo 4. So congratulations. And y'all, guess what? My daughter got a job working from home. So she's in there taking phone calls for the bank. And I hope to God they can't hear the bell in the background. If so, they're probably going to be like, why do I keep hearing the bell? And I'm going to be like, oops. I'm going to feel real bad. But there's like a couple of doors in between us. She shouldn't hear it, but you never know. Let's see. Deanne Page. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And I appreciate the feedback from Virginia. Let's go down a little bit more. And if I miss a comment or a question, please just repost it. I appreciate it. Sometimes it's hard to keep up with stuff. The Scrapping Diva Felisa. I love the purple hearts. Yvonne Hudson says hello from California. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let me say Craftable Things. Hey, how are you, Patrice? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's going to be fun. Embroidery tonight. So hopefully you'll enjoy that with us. Nakomi Butler. Are you kidding me? I just lost my darn duplicity. Okay, here we go. I hope I didn't mess y'all up. Okay, hopefully not. It took me a minute to get myself back. Okay, so it looks like we are, yep, almost caught up. Nakomi Butler, good evening. Suzanne Green, you're welcome. Yvonne Hudson bought Sew It Pro. Sew It Pro is awesome sauce. Absolutely love Sew It Pro. Plenty of tutorials here on this channel for Sew It Pro. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop them either in the comments or in the Facebook group. I have a scan and cut and all the Cricut videos work well anyway. Okay, cool. That's what's up. Leslie Ram, hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us and for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Avery Head, hello, hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. You are, but Avery Head, we got to get your right account hooked to you. Did they help you with that? I know you were supposed to be getting up with YouTube, so hopefully they got you or will get you squared away. Charlene Mitchell, hello, how are you? Welcome. But we do appreciate the support of our channel, no less, Miss Avery Head. So please, we definitely appreciate that. Just Seems Right, Linda Woods Brown, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Charlie Mitchell, I think I said hello. If I didn't, hello, how are you? Beverly Smith, thank you for being a YouTube Who Group member as well. Thank you for joining us. And Renee Totaro, hello, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. So you guys, we got a lot to go over, a lot to look at. This particular tutorial to do the zipper pouch in the hoop is easy. It's very simple. It's not difficult at all. The problem kind of comes in using a placemat, but I'll show you what you need to do and how to figure it out, and we're going to go through all of those steps. Hello, Inspiration Creations. Sheila Cushionberry, I had to replace my laptop. How do I go about getting my Sew It Pro on the new device? Just, if you got your Sew It Pro from me, then shoot me an email and let me know what email you use to purchase it with. Because when you buy Sew It Pro, you buy it with PayPal, right? I get an email notification that you purchased it, and then we generate a code and send it out to you. So what I'll do is go and find your original registration, and I'll forward it to you again so that you can just use that and put it on the new laptop. So you would go to our website, download the demo version, and then get your code, registration code from the email, plug that in, and it'll unlock your full version for you on that new laptop. Now, it can be applied to two laptops, so if you had it on another one, you may have to call Sew It Pro headquarters and let them know, hey, this computer, I don't use it anymore, I'm using this one, and they can deactivate the old one and activate the new one. But if this is your second computer, you don't have to go through any of that. Alrighty. Miss Abraham, unfortunately, I mean, my hands are tied when it comes to that because I can't do, like I was mentioning to captains and even all of the members here, when you're a member of the channel, they don't give you email addresses. So I just see that you're a member and for how long you've been a member, but I don't see what your email address is. So I can't, you know, they handle anything, anything and everything dealing with the memberships here on YouTube. So I'll see what I can figure it out, but my hands are kind of tied with that. Nakomi Butler, I got a brother 1250D sewing and embroidery machine last week. I have a 4000D coming soon. I'm super excited. I enjoy making bags in the hoop. So we're going to help you with that tonight. So I'm excited. Congratulations, Nakomi, on your 2 new babies. Woo! Well, the one baby anyway. We can ring the bell for you for your second baby when it comes next week, but that's for your first baby. All right, you guys, let's go ahead and switch over to the other table because we're going to need all the time we can get to get this bag up and going. So I'm going to switch you guys over, and what we'll do is show you the really cool haul that I got from Hobby Lobby, right? So this is the bag or the placemat that I made the bag out of. So let me grab that bag so that you can see it in comparison to the placemat. Now, while I'm over here, let me see if I can bring my phone and be able to see the chat because I can't see the chat over here. So let's get over here. Let me turn this down. All right, cool. So I can see the chat now. So this is the placemat I got from Hobby Lobby. Okay. And here is my receipt from Hobby Lobby. We're gonna hide that for right now. Because it's shameful. But look, this placemat was $9.99. This was a $10 one placemat thing, right? So 90% off, 90 cents. So we got this for 90 cents and I bought 4 of them. Okay. So I have these two. My plan is to do the latest Lori Newmaker bag, I think it's number 13. I plan to make a bag out of these two. So these are 2 placemats, but I had 2 left to make a bag out of. So I'll show you here in a moment exactly how we're gonna start making our zipper bag out of those. But meanwhile, I want to show you I got these as well. So these were super cute, I thought. I like the geometric pattern. This is more of like a peach color, and it's plain on the back. So this one was $7.99. So what, 79 cents roughly with the 90% off. And unfortunately, I bought all that they had in that color, if I'm remembering correctly. This pattern, they had a couple more of these, so I'm probably going to go back and find them because this particular design goes really well with this one. So I was like, this would make a cute bag as well for this to sit in. You know what I'm saying? Like you go out and you put your little purse in for your change and stuff inside the bigger bag. So I only got one of these, unfortunately. But this was $7.99 as well. So what, 79 cents for this one. So I got that. And I got these as well. So these two, I actually didn't do as bad as I think I did, as I felt I did. But at any rate, we'll deal with that later. So I got this one as well. This one was $6.99. All right, and it's plain or gray on the back. All right, and this I thought was kind of cute too. It would make a really cool pattern for a bag or something. And this one, I want to say was $6.99 as well. $7.99. So these were $7.99 each at one point in time, 90% off, 79 cents. So these are the placemats that I bought in order to make the placemat bags out of. Now, Lori usually does her videos with, as I mentioned before, the Pioneer Woman's placemats. Now, I can't remember right now off the top of my head how thick the Pioneer Woman's placemats are, but these are pretty sturdy. Okay, so what I am probably going to have to do with the placemat bag that we're going to do tonight, because if you notice, see how the corner is still rounded down here? That's because it kind of got bulky and super thick right in this area. And the bag itself isn't super thick, but it's a little bit thicker than what I would prefer, because what I did was just used the entire placemat front and back and then put a lining inside the bag, right? So my concern is, should I take the lining off of this or just not put a lining on the inside? But tonight, to simplify things, I'm going to do it the exact same way I did last night, and I will make it the exact same way. So these were the placemats that I purchased. What I also purchased was these, which here's one that how it looks out of the packaging, and then here is what it looks like with the packaging. So these are table runners, which I loved that pattern. I thought that was just really cute, the colors and everything. And this table runner is 13 by 72 inches, and this was $19.99. All right, so $2 for each one of these. And because it has the fringe Well, not just because it has the fringe. Let me show you. I'll put these back over here. But the design is just on the ends, okay? So all up here is completely plain, and then on both ends is the design. So, and the back is this beautiful mauve like color. So just trying to put in my mind exactly how I can use this to make the bags with Lori's patterns. On the sewing machine is something I intend to do with these some kind of way. I haven't 100% figured it out. If you guys have any ideas, shoot me your ideas of what you think we could do, even if it includes sewing. Um, you know, we'll figure out something to do. But the placemats were the simpler option for making these zipper pouches, so that's why I didn't use this just yet. But this was my haul from Hobby Lobby, and as I mentioned, they had more of these. They had plenty more of these, and I think they had more of these. This particular one, they didn't have any more of the black and white one. They didn't have any more of the pink. No, they had plenty more of the pink zebra. I wasn't really super feeling that. That's why I only got a couple of those. But my goal is to get more of these if they have them, and the other color where these two colors were used on it. So super excited about that. Andrea says tote bags. Allison says if you don't put a lining, the seams will show. I know. I wasn't super worried about it because the seams are on the inside of the bag, you know, but it's really, for me, that's not that big of a deal, but for a customer, then yes, yes. Tanya says nice, real nice. Right? That's hilarious. Um, Pamela says she's gonna be the first one at the Hobby Lobby. 10 for $1. Yeah, I'm trying to tell you. I couldn't help it. I had to definitely go ahead and snatch those up. If I find those, I'm going to embroider with my book club member names and give them gifts. That would be cute. Pouch, tote, toiletry, makeup bag sets. Right. See, with Lori, she does the makeup bag sets, and she does the travel, like the travel bag, and then also she even has one with a lunch bag looking tote. I'm just super excited about all the things we can do with this. But as far as this particular design is concerned, this one is a 5x7 zipper pouch. She does have other sizes. We can go up to 6x10. Actually, hold on, and I'll tell you what the other sizes are. I should have had that pulled up now that I think about it, so that I can tell you what they are. Let's go on my files. Actually, let's do that. Let's do that. See if we can get this to work real quick. Yeah. Okay, so here is the zipper bag instructions. So for this particular bag, isn't that cute? She put the little tassel. I should have put a tassel on mine. I may go back and do that. So 4x4 bag, she has a template for 5x7, 6x10, and an 8x12 size option. So 4 size options, 1 price. And let me see. I'll have to look and see what her price was for it, but it's very, very easy to make. Now the 4x4 bag, I would not use a placemat unless you take the back lining off. But even still, it's a canvas type material is what these placemats are made out of. That's pretty thick. So for the 4x4 bag, I wouldn't necessarily say use that fabric. If you do, I wouldn't put a lining with it. That's just me. But it's really easy to do. It even has the zipper, which is super easy to include. It has a place where you can add customization to the pattern. I'll show you how to do that. Super simple. Even if you don't have Sew It Pro, we'll show you how to add that. So here are the instructions, and this is what we will be going over and making another one. Okay, so let me scroll back up, and what I'm going to do is show you something in particular with this bag, something that we need to keep in mind. So I'm going to open this design. We're doing the 5x7. So when we open this design, what it is going to do, the very first stitch out step is going to do the entire bag, and it's going to leave out a section that shows where the zipper goes, and that's what this first color stop is. So this small square rectangle area up top is where the zipper goes, and then the rest of this down through here is for the bag itself. Now the reason why I pulled this up is because this area here is where our bag is going to stitch, right? So I'm going to select color stop number 1 and look at the size of this. This is 4.8 inches wide by 6.8 inches, 6.84 inches high. Okay, so basically 7 inches high by basically 5 inches wide. Okay, now let's go back to her instructions. And if you look at the 5x7 bag, she says a 7-inch wide piece of fabric for the outside and a 9-inch tall piece of fabric for the outside. Now, ordinarily, I follow her instructions to the T, because what she's doing is giving you measurements of fabric so that you'll have a generous amount of fabric to make mistakes, so that you don't miss stitches and stuff like that and trying to line it up in the hoop. But in our case, I'll show you once we get back over to the cutting table. In our case, we're trying to line up the placemat based on the design on the placemat. So we have to keep in mind that that 7 inches wide by 9 inches tall is a little bit too big for us to get a good matchup for the front and the back of the bag and make sure that that yarn trim that goes all the way around matches up perfectly. And that's where I was like, yikes, you know, really taking my time and trying to figure this out, doing math, you know what I'm saying, while trying to get this bag put together last night. So in order to make the bag, we need fabric for the outer, front, and back. So we need the placemat to be the right size. One placemat, as I'll show you here in a moment, will make for two bags. It'll make 2 bags. And then we need fabric for the lining. All right, if you want to do lining. Then you'll need a piece of ribbon, fold over elastic, or whatever you want to use to make the little hang off part. If you don't want the key tag part to hang off, you can skip this step. 1 key ring or hardware if you're going to do that same tag. If you're not going to do it, you can skip that. And then we need at least 7 inches of 1-inch wide zipper. Okay, and I have a whole container of zippers, some way longer than that, and we'll show you how that works too. All right, so this is for the 5x7 bag. This is the one that we're going to be doing. So let's get back over to the table, and what we'll do is show you how cool this is. So remember, she said 7x9, right, is the size that she suggests that you cut out your fabric for the front and the back. So here is a ruler. If I come here, 7x9, this is 18 inches wide. So me and my limited use of math immediately lets me know 7x9, cool, here's my 9 inches right here already. So half of this will make 1 bag and half will make another bag. So let's go this way and look at the math. And she said 7x9, right? So this one is 13 from top to bottom. Well, she said 7 by 9. So if I cut that in half, that's 6.5 for to make 13 inches. Cool thing is 6.5 is okay. 6.5 will still give you a really good amount of fabric to make sure that you get it completely covered and covered in the hoop. And I'll show you how even that I cut down even more. Okay. So when I cut this in half, this is what we get. So I didn't want to cut this again. I mean, cut this one because I already cut one. And here is the other half of the other side from this one. So one half did this bag already. We're going to use this to make another one. All right. So as I mentioned, she said 7 by 9, right? So this is 9 inches this way. We need the 7 inches this way, but you don't have to do 7. You can do 6.5. So once we get on here, what I like to do is use my cutting mat grid to help me make sure that I get my measurements just so. So I'm going to put this at 6.5. Why did I flip that over? I don't know. 6.5 is right there because I have it lined up over here against the number 10. So 16.5 is giving me my 6.5. All right, so 6.5 on this side, 6.5 on that side by 9. So let's get this cut. All right. So here is one side. I started to put a new blade in here, but I didn't. All right. There's one side, there's the other side. So this will be the front, this will be the back, or vice versa. It really doesn't matter. Now, if you wanted to, you could take this lining out of or off of the placemat if you wanted to. As I mentioned, because I would have to go through these stitches which are holding the ribbon in place. I'm not going to take the lining off, even though I could just cut it out or something like that. But hey, that's more work. Why go through that? All right, so here is our front and back fabric. Our lining fabric, I already have just some basic fabric right here that we're going to use for the lining. Nothing fancy, just some plain white fabric. Zippers. Let's see if you can see this big old tote of zippers. So here I have a ton of zippers. So if you want a ton of zippers, Amazon, there's a link in the description below this video that will show you how you can get a bag of zippers. All right, so I have just about every color in this darn thing. The last zipper I used was one of these white really long zippers. I'm gonna see if I can't find one closer to the color to make it more fun for us. So that's too pink, I think. Ha ha ha. And that's too pink as well. Uh-oh, is this? Uh-oh, oh look! We can get away with that. What do you think? I think we might can get away with that. I think we can get away with that. Let's pull. Now my zippers, most of my zippers are hidden zippers. She doesn't suggest using hidden zippers with her projects, but it's entirely up to you. Like these are not hidden. I could use one of these as well. These are hidden zippers. I've been able to use the hidden ones with success, so I'm not super worried about it. And then these are more Carolina blue, so we're not going to use those. I think this will be, let's see. Let's put that up top. What do you think? Should we do this? Or should we just use one of these others that are not hidden and just not care about the color? Because I could do black. Let's see. What is, that's not black, that's navy. Yuck. Here's black. I could do just like a black zipper. What do y'all think? For the time being though, or should I stick with white, which is what I used before? I'll keep it out just in case. All right, so let me put the rest of these back. And, oh, I didn't leave out the black zipper. Ooh, 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 I'm gonna show you something else super cute too before we get super started. All right, so here is, and sad thing is, this ain't even all my zippers. This is just one container. Because again, somebody saw clearance and I bought a ton of zippers. Match the trim color, not white, turquoise. Okay, cool. So we'll stick with this. Now, I found this at Hobby Lobby as well. They have zippers. Look at that. The teeth are rhinestones. Okay, come on now. Somebody help me understand. Teeth are zippers. Isn't that totally adorbs? If it wasn't so dark, I would have used this with my bag last night because that would be super cute. And I found these too, but the colors are so all over the place, it kind of like takes away from the bag, I thought. So, but these are cute for their own project. And look at how cool the pulls are on this. I thought that was neat. So these are at Hobby Lobby as well if you're interested in finding some zippers there that you want to just pick up. All right, so we have our zipper, we have our pouch, the hardware. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with the hardware. I'm sorry, the tab, what I used. And we got pulls, lobster clasps, so I'll grab one of those. Here's our lining. Let's get started. So one of the first things you want to do is hoop your stabilizer on this project. Now you can use cutaway, you can use tearaway. It's entirely up to you. Cutaway just means that there's a little bit of surgical work that you're going to have to do when the time comes. Tearaway, there's also surgical work, but the surgical work that you do with the tearaway is not as, difficult. So let's hoop this piece of tearaway, and hopefully this is big enough. It looks like it is. Okay. Let me actually tighten this up because I had this loose for not fleece, whatever the name of that stuff, felt. I had it loose for some felt. All right, it's a good fit. Let's put this on. Let's put this in. And here is our 5x7. Now we are going to use the 6 needle for this particular project tonight. And we are going to go ahead and put this on the embroidery machine and get the embroidery machine up and going. So that is over here on the ring cam. So I need to change the design. Now for this project, I'm using all white thread with the exception of the font that I put on there. The font that I used was pink. Should we do turquoise font this time to match the zipper and the trim? Let me know what you think. Weigh in and we'll get it added. Now on this one, I gotta rotate it because I am putting it in a 5x7. I didn't have to rotate it, but I'm going to rotate it. All right, and now let's go to sewing. I'm going to change all colors to white colors, white thread. All right, now I got that set up. Let's bring my comments in the hoop over to the machine. Hey, the best uni. How are you, my dear? Welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening with some embroidery. All right, so here's our hoop. We got our hoop. It's stabilizer. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to use a different color for the first step, just because. 1, 2, just because I want you to see where we're going to place this stuff. Okay, so first step is to stitch out where everything is going to live. Okay, so let's do our first stitch out. Turquoise for the font. Okay, cool beans. Making with Marilyn, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Myra Thompson, thank you for joining us. Nina Rowe, welcome. Deanne Page, welcome. T-shirt chick, hey darling, how are you? Welcome. Now with this particular stabilizer, it's a little fragile, but it's okay. It'll still work. That's the cool thing about this particular design. The fabric will take the brunt of everything. So I'm going to move this out and show you. Here is where we're going to put our zipper. All right. So let me grab our gorgeous turquoise zipper. And we're going to notice this is way too long. Doesn't matter, because this particular design will make sure that your zipper is going to cut off at the right size, and you don't have to worry about any of that. So we're going to leave it zipped closed to make life easier for us. And I'm just going to lay it right here, and what I'm going to do is tape this down. So I got some Scotch tape that a lovely person gave me, someone who wanted to make sure I had the best of what we needed here in the studio, and I am eternally grateful to her for that. So there's one side taped down, and now let's tape down this other side. All right, you want to make sure it's taped down pretty good. Don't put too much pressure on the stabilizer because it will tear. So now that we have our zipper taped in place, we're going to change the color back to white. And let's go 4. And we're going to stitch our next stop, which is going to tack that zipper down. As you see, it is right on the edge, buddy. The zipper might be a little smaller than 1 inch, but you want to definitely get a 1 inch zipper. All right. So our next step after stitching our zipper is to now put our fabric in place. So here is where we are actually going to do our lining and our top fabric. So what I'm going to do to make it easier on us is, first off, I'm going to move this out. And then I'm going to take this off, and we're going to take it over to the cutting table. And this is where I'm going to show you the difference in just using regular fabric to make your zipper pouch, because you could easily use just like some plain fabric, nothing much to it, thin cotton, and make a bag without any worries, right? Actually, let me make my life easier, and I'm gonna cut this off now because we don't need that extra piece. So what we want to do at this point is turn it over, and we're going to put our lining on the back. And our lining, Eve Lowry did not cut out yet. So let's go ahead and cut our lining, because she forgot about that part. So she said 7 inches by 9 inches fabric pieces for the lining and for your main fabric. But let me show you something. This is 7 inches by 9 inches. Okay, so 9 would be the long way, 7 would be the wide way. So this is 7 inches right here. So look at how much overhang of fabric you're going to have, an extra almost inch on each side if you did 7 by 9. And going this way, 9 is down here, so it gives you an extra inch to hang off from each side. That's good for the folks who, you know, need to make 100% sure and don't want any problems. That's okay. For me though, I'm not gonna go that big. All right, so I'm gonna actually do 8 inches by 6 inches. And I may even do less than 6 inches because the wide really isn't the issue. It's more so the length. So 8 inches. I'm going to put that there and cut out 8 inches here. All right. And what did I say? This is 5 inches wide. So I said 6 originally. How wide is this right here? Look at that. 5.5. Boy, I tell you, that was exactly what I was thinking about doing instead of 6. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm going to do 5.5. So I'm going to split this in half so that I don't have to cut a whole nother piece of fabric. Will I live to regret that decision? Stay tuned on the next episode of The Embroidery and the Restless. All right, so, as the embroidery turns, that's what we'll name it. All right, so here's our lining. Our lining fabric eventually will be lined on the inside of the bag. So this is going to be the front of the bag. You'll be able to see the front. Here's your zipper. So your front fabric will go here. Well, behind your front fabric, you're going to need your lining, right? So this is where your lining will eventually go. But for the time being, we need to tack it in place. So you take your lining and line it up with this line right here. All right. And once that's lined up, we need to get our super tape again. This time I'm going to use, this time I'm going to use some blue tape because I need to be 110% sure this isn't going anywhere and I need to tape more than just a small section. So I'm going to tape it all the way down to the end of the hoop. The reason why I'm doing that is because when I put this back on the machine, the lining is going to hang down. You see that? It's going to hang. And what I need it to do is hang, but I don't need it to hang and flop back this way. So I'm taping it all the way down the side to make sure that this does not come back this way when it's on the machine. See? So by taping it all the way down like that, I don't have to worry about it coming back on me unless I don't pay attention and I put it back on the machine like that. But I'm going to pay attention because I want this bag to turn out nice. All right, so here's our lining. Now what we want to do is put our front fabric on. So here is where I was mentioning earlier the difference with using placemat fabric versus using just regular fabric. So we want this element to be a part of our bag. It's super cute. So because of that, I need to make sure that the bottom of this bag is right in this area somewhere. So I'm going to lay this on and notice how much bigger this is inside the hoop. All right. So looking at this, remember, well, you don't know actually. Hold on. In order to put our front facing fabric on here, we need it to line up just like it is on the back. So it's going to be face down, upside down for right now. I know it sounds crazy. I promise you'll see how cool it works out in the end. So we're going to line this up exact opposite as we did the lining on the back side. Now the lining, if this was printed on one side, this would be the print on the front. It would be front down, and this would be the inside where you can't see this part of the lining. So this would be the back side of the lining, just in case you're using a fabric that has, you know, one side on it. But that's plain white on both sides, so I don't have to worry about that. But with this, I do have to worry about it. So it's going to be face down, and it's going to line up right here with this line. But again, it's too big, because what's going to happen is it's going to stitch right here, and when I flip it over, this is going to be way down below my stitch line, which really isn't that big of a deal, because it wouldn't hurt anything for this to be, the turquoise to be a little bit further down. But I love the way that turned out. That was like perfect. So what I'm going to do is bring this up just a little bit, and I'm going to see where this is and make sure that this is going to cover that line. And now I'm going to come up here and I'm going to see where it goes to the center of that zipper. And then I'm going to measure that. Okay. So let's measure from that zipper down. That's 6.5 inches. So I'm going to cut off enough fabric so that this is 6.5 inches long. Okay. Are you with me? I hope I'm not losing you on this. I hope I'm not losing you. So 6.5 is going to put me right here at 18.5 on my mat. Okay. Alrighty. I need a new blade in this thing. Ugh. All right. So this piece is what I'm going to use to make this tab. So we have, by cutting that excess off, I now have a piece to make my tag. So I don't need to buy ribbon or anything, or have some ribbon for that. So this is one thing. So notice again, this is going to line up. Once I flip this back over, it's going to line up against the bottom of that line. All right. Now, as you see, it's also a little too wide. I could even cut this down. What's that? About an inch off of that. I could probably cut about an inch off of this and it won't hurt anything. So I'm going to cut just a smidge off of here. Actually, I'm going to do a little less than an inch, just to do 3/4, just to be 100% sure I got room to work with. Okay, so now that I measured this against the stitch out, I can now do this like it needs to be. So this needs to be face down, upside down, and against that bottom line, just like it is on the back. Okay, so I'm going to put this down. And once we have that in place, oh, sorry, actually, let's take this tape off. We don't need this tape anymore. Let's take this tape off. Okay. Now we're going to put this in place. And we're going to tape it on the edges. All right. This is on top, so I don't have to have as secure tape as I do on the bottom. So that's why I'm just using a small strip of this green. And I'm also going to be standing over there babysitting it, so I can try and make sure that this does not move anymore, because I cut it shorter. So if it moves, I'm kind of like playing Russian roulette to a certain degree on making sure that once this folds over, it overlaps this bottom line. All right, so I have to be super careful and make sure that I don't mess this up and that it doesn't shift on me, so that I don't screw up the whole thing. All right, so I have my front part of my bag. I have the lining that's going to butt up against the back of this once the bag is put together. So this that's on the back is this lining right here. And then this is the front. So let's put this back on the embroidery machine. Let's switch the camera. And then we're going to stitch our next step. All right, so this is literally step by step on getting this bag put together. And again, the link to make this bag is in the description. It's at Designs by Little B. Okay, so now I have my fabric is hanging down like it's supposed to. It's still taped in place, but the excess is hanging way off over here, so I don't have to worry about it getting stitched under here. And then my top fabric has a little bit of tape holding it in place. I'm going to, this needs to come back some because I need to make sure that it's enough to stitch that in place. All right, without going over, because I need to make sure my measurement on that was right. And so what I'm going to do is pull this back in place. And with that in place, I'm going to hold this where I need it to be. Now, I do not suggest you hold your fabric or anything like that, but I do it because, you know, daredevil, why not? But I need to make sure this turns out right. So as you see, now it's going to stitch this in place, this top and the bottom. All right, so there we have our top and our lining stitched in place. Okay, so now at this point, you don't have to stitch this step, but you can. We're going to take the tape off of the front only. So let's take the tape off the front. Take the tape off here and flip it over. And here's the front of our bag. So what that basically was doing was giving us a nice crease here so that our bag will look super cute right there at the zipper. If you wanted to, you could kind of like press this down to give yourself a good crisp crease line. But I'm finger pressing for right now. All right, and I'm making sure that down here this is covering all of my seams that need to be covered on the sides and on the bottom, and it is. And so this next step is going to stitch this in place. So let's go ahead and do that. You don't have to run this step if you don't want to, but I do because it'll hold it where it needs to be. And it shows you the outline of your bag as well. All right. So now at this point, this is where we'll add a name. Okay, so this is where the name will go, and this is where you add the personalization. Now notice what we did was we took the tape off the front and we flipped the front down, but we didn't flip down the lining. The lining is still out of the way. Why? Because when we do our name and embroider the name, then we'll flip our back into place and that'll cover the back of the embroidery so you can't see the back of the embroidery stitches. So there are no seams, no stitches visible on the inside of this bag, right? How cool is that? So what I'm going to do over here off camera that I didn't do earlier is find a, actually I'm going to do just like I did with the other folks. Let's get back to the cutting table. And I'm going to bring over my threads so that we can choose the right color. So here's my tub of blues and greens, and here is the color that we're trying to match. So I have an assortment of turquoise. Yuck, not the right color, and definitely not the right shade. That's kind of close. That's the closest that I can see right now. Let's check this one. No, that's a little too blue in my opinion. Unfortunately, this is my turquoise collection, so I'm limited in a way. Nope, not that. Too dark, but the green, hint of green is definitely there. That's too dark as well. I think our closest match is going to be this guy over there. I think that's going to be the closest we can get. What do y'all think? I don't have any other thread, so this is going to have to do. All right, it's a little dark, but that's okay. That'll allow the name to stand out. And it might be, let's see. No, I thought that was going to work, but it didn't. But at any rate, this is the turquoise I have that we'll have to make that work. So I'm going to put my thread back. And if you're interested in where I got the container from that the thread is in, I got that from Walmart, actually. It's called a clear shoe box with lid is what it is called. All right, so back over to our embroidery machine. I can't see the chat, so I apologize. Give me a sec and I'll pull it up after I change out the thread. So here is the thread that I'm going to use because this is the closest that I can see I have. I'm still looking around, but this is all I got. So we're going to make it work. All right, so I'm going to take off this brown that I was using earlier. And we're going to swap out the threads. So changing the embroidery threads is super easy. I leave a tail. Wish I could show you, but it's off camera, unfortunately. But leave a tail and then tie a knot between the two colors. A tail from the new color and a tail from the old. Tie a knot and then pull it through. Not through the eye of the needle, but pull it through the needle bar. And here we go from brown to blue. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy. Now let's go to number 6. Let's change that color. And booyah, we have turquoise. So at this point, what I'm going to do is I am going to immediately back all the way out of this stitch design. So I'm going to go home and erase everything that I just did. Okay, so now I get to choose a completely different embroidery design, and I have my name just like on that other pouch saved in this embroidery machine. So I'm going to put that in the machine, but I'm going to, because right now it's going this way. I wish I could show you on the screen. Actually, let me see if I can. This camera is crazy, and I really don't want it to go out. If I touch it, it'll probably go out. So I'm gonna leave it alone. But the name is going this way, and I need it to turn this way because that's how the bag is, right? So I'm gonna rotate the name from here 90 degrees to here. All right, so that's the first thing I'm doing. The second thing I'm going to do is right now it's showing me that from this red dot, my name is going to stitch right here. That's not where I want it to stitch. So the cool thing, one of the cool things about the 6 needle embroidery machine with this one, I can tell it to show me where the bottom of the embroidery design is going to go. So I'm going to move it down. So that's the center bottom. That's how far over it's going to come, center left. and that's how far down it's going to go center right. I don't want the name down here. I want it up here. So let's move back to the center, and I'm going to move this up. Okay. So for right now, that's where the center, I'm sorry, the center bottom of my name is going to go. So let me see what the top looks like. Whoops, that's too high, right? So let me move it down some, inch by inch. All right, so that's down a little bit. So now let's see where the bottom is going to be. That's pretty darn good. I like that. That's good and centered. Yep, that works well for me. All right, so this is where we're going to stitch the name. And let's change the color to the turquoise and get the stitching. All right, so now we're putting the name on the bag. The lining is out of the way. Lining is down here, and we're stitching the name. So I'm going to go to the chat and see what I missed. Oh, the best uni. Thank you, the best uni, for the super chat. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. We definitely appreciate super chats. It is very well needed on the channel. Let's see. Let me go back. Wow, y'all been chatting. I missed all of this. Okay, there we go. Great cosmetic bags. Yes, they would. Tote bags, yes. Allison Holloway says if you don't put a lining, the seams. Okay, we read that. You could use binding tape to enclose the seams. We will. Oh, binding tape. I could use, but that's unfortunately using the sewing machine though, and I'm not, a huge fan of using the sewing machine if I don't have to. EJ's daughter says if I find those, I'm going to embroider with my book club member names. I read that before. I apologize. Allison says just separate the layers and use the back as the liner. I could. The only reason why I did not is because the pretty turquoise ribbon was stitched down, or it is stitched down. Let's see. The pretty turquoise ribbon is stitched down. You see the stitches is going through the lining, and I don't want to have to cut the stitches, which will release the yarn from the lining. So that's why I chose to just go ahead and leave it on there for the time being instead of using it. Hello, Debbie White from New York. Welcome. Avery Head said pillows, HTV vinyl on them, or if they're polyester, we can sublimate, or we can put DTF on here. Yes, that is correct. That is correct. Deborah Patton, hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you very much. Sheila Cushionberry says, I bet that would make a super cute journal cover as well. Then could have a cute matching set, such as a journal cover and a pencil bag. Yes, ma'ams. Yes, ma'ams. That's why we bought extra extra placemats so that we can do all kind of cool stuff. I'm super excited about all the cool things. Justine's Right says, I have lots of hanging fabric samples and this project is going to be excellent. Yes, that is correct. Those hanging fabric samples are small and you're like, oh, what am I going to do with all of this? Very simple project to use for this. Very much so. And the 4x4 will even use the smallest of scraps. Absolutely love it. Let's see. Let's see. Blue hidden zipper. That blue hidden zipper. Let's see. Yeah, the rhinestone zipper is super cute. Tanya likes the rhinestone zippers. That's what I had never seen them before until I saw them that day. Ooh, Nakomi, yas, girl. Use the black rhinestone zipper with the black and white placemat. Hustler. Sure will. I sure will. That's gonna be cute. All right, y'all. The name is done. Let's see how that turns. Ooh, it's super cute. Even though it's a little bit darker, it's still adorbs. Look, OMG. That's cute. Oh man, I got me some cute bags. All right, so we're gonna. No, I think we need to flip this out of the way. So let's go back to the other cutting table, and then we're going to. Let me make sure I'm gonna cut my Cricut Easy Press on because I want to make sure that I'm doing the right step because I did personalization, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's do this. Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, so now, oh, I was supposed to be switching y'all's camera. Boom, cutting table like that. All right, so now what we'll do is we will take our super cute, look at that, oh my god. And then the other thing is I'm thinking about trying to see if I can't, since it's going to cut off right at that, see if I can't release this part of the tassel and let it be a tassel. I don't know, I ain't made up my mind yet, but anyways, now we're going to flip it over and we're going to take this tape off and take this tape off. Hopefully not tear up my darn stabilizer too bad. And then we're going to flip this down in place. So now look, it's going to cover up the back of my embroidery stitches. Isn't that super cool? And I'm actually going to use this tape again and I'm going to tape this down. Take this in place so that it does not move. And get this ready because this is going to stitch here soon. So now we flip the lining. Okay, let's go back. First, we had the lining out of the way, the top out of the way. Once we tacked both in place, we released the top, flipped it back down, tacked it down, right? Then we did our stitching, our personalization. So I'm going to have to put this pattern back into the embroidery machine. Now that's what you can do if you don't have a program like Sew It Pro where you can add the name inside the pattern and then that way you don't have to take the pattern out. But if you don't have a program like that, then that's how you would do it. You take this out of the machine, put your name in the machine, line it up, stitch it out, and now we'll put the pattern back in. But that's over there on the machine. For right now, we've done our personalization. Now we flip our lining back in place, or we flip our lining down into place rather. So this is going to be behind the front of the bag to cover those stitches. So now what we need to do is put our zipper right in this pattern. See, the zipper been out of the way the whole time, but now we need to put this back. If you do not do this step, shame on you, because after this, the way the bag is going to stitch your zipper on the outside and you won't be able to use your zipper. So now is the time to bring that zipper over into the bag, and I like to bring it, you know, a little ways over, not all the way to the end, because you don't need this zipper pull in the way, flopping around and going on. Matter of fact, I'm gonna try and tape it just a little itty bitty bit. I don't know that that's gonna make a difference or not. I don't know, but we'll see. All right, so actually, you know what? Yeah, no, that'll work. So now that this is out of the way, the zipper is back in its, or zipper is in its home, I'm going to move this because what we want to do now is prepare this part. Okay, so this is the tag to hold our hardware for our purse, and here is just the piece that I cut off the top of the other thing, remember. So I'm going to make this super easy for me and for you. And what we're going to do is the final measurement of this needs to be whatever the final measurement of your little bracket is, right? So my little brackets are, let's grab us another one. Like, let me show you a for instance. Let's show you a for instance. So, okay. So, for instance, this is the one that I used, and that one, this is that. And if you look at the measurement of it, the area is about 1/2 inch if you look at it on a ruler. Okay. So this is a 1/2 inch. So you need to make sure that your ribbon or your bungee cord or your whatever you use for this needs to be 1/2 inch wide. Any wider, then it won't fit in. Like this is too wide. Look at how it's all bunched up going in there. So this needs to, you need to make sure it's folded right. Okay. Here is another option. This is one that you could use for another purse, but a much bigger one. This one looks to be about 1 inch. Let's see. So that's 1 inch wide. So if you had a ribbon 1 inch, then you would need hardware that's 1 inch. Okay. And here's one that's even smaller than the one that I have. So this would be like a cord or something. You would want to use even smaller. This is like 1/4 of an inch. So that's really important. You need to look at your hardware size to make sure what you're doing. But we already know that what I want to do is going to be 1/2 inch. So I will fold this in. What I did was just fold it into 1/2 inch. All right. So once I get to 1/2 inch, I fold it again. Let me make sure that's 1/2 inch. That looks smaller than 1/2 inch. No, it's right there at it. Okay. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to the Cricut Easy Press, and I'm going to use hem tape, and I'm going to make this our strap by using hem tape, because right now if I try to use it, it's going to flop open and stuff like that, and we don't want this to flop open. We want it to stay nice and closed. So I'm going to switch you all over to my desktop cam right here beside my computer, and we're going to use the Easy Press that I turned on. As you see, it's already on. And here's our bell. Hello, McCrackens. And I don't have to do this whole thing, but I'm going to do at least, what's that, 2 inches roughly of that, so that when we fold it, it's enough to put that keychain on there, that key fob thing. All right, so let's line this up here, and I'm going to tuck that under just like that right there. I sure am. And now that that's there, we're going to use the Easy Press, and we're going to press this joker in place, and it is going to give us our tag for hanging our hardware on, so that we can attach it to a bag, or we can attach some keys to it, or we can hang a tassel. Do I have a tassel? Yo, I think I have a teal tassel, and I think I may even have a pink tassel. Don't make me pull out my tassels. Oh my gosh. All right. So even pressure is going back and forth up that strip, making sure that the heat gets to it. Let's see if it worked. All right, cool. Because we needed to make sure to get through all layers of that canvas. This is like a canvas type fabric. So we need to make sure that that glue melts really well. And I'll get back to the chat when I get back to the table. I think, nope, the phone is over there. Actually, I'm going to look at my tassels. Let's see what kind of tassels we got. Look there. I think that's the wrong shade, though. Let's see. And OMG, I think I have. Okay, we're going to take our tassels over to the, yeah, because I don't have one in the longer tassel. So we're going to take this over to the table. All right, so let's get you back to the cutting table. And here are some tassels, some little weedy tassels. That would be super cute to hang. What you think? Tassel, no tassel? I even have the pink that I think will go with. Let's see. Is that the right shade? No. Or yes. Or is it? Or is it this one? Is that too pink? I don't know. Tassel too much because we got this? Let me know in the comments what you think. Should we use a tassel or no tassel? Either way, that can be added later with a jump ring. So here is our little strip that we're going to use to attach our hardware. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. All right, and so now that that's cut, we're going to cut it this way, all the way to the glue. All right, and now we can put our hardware on. Easy peasy, mac and cheesy. All right, so yes, this is super long, but I'm gonna show you how this is gonna work. All right, so here's the front of our bag. Remember, the back lining is in place, so we're good back there. We don't have to worry about the back anymore for a while. Now, what's going to happen is to attach our hardware is going to go up here. So we're going to lay it up here. Now, the next stitch that we're going to stitch out on the machine is going to show us where to put this. Okay, so what I'm showing you this ahead of time for is you can make this as long as you want it to be. So you can bring it in some and let just that much hang over this line, and then you got that much line, or if you want that shorter, you can pull it back some. You see what I'm doing here? So that you can make that even shorter. But just be careful because you don't want this to be too close to the embroidery machine and that needle hit this hardware. So you want it to be a good little bit away from that. But we'll go over all of that at the embroidery machine, and I'm getting ready to take this over so that we can stitch that hardware in place, okay? So let's go over to the embroidery machine. And let's see, embroidery machine is right here. And let's get you put on the embroidery machine. And as I mentioned earlier, my name is still the pattern that's loaded, so we need to change that. And let's take that out all the way and go back to our pouch. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to fast forward through everything that we've done up to this point, okay? So that's easy. On here, I can just go by color stop. So the outside of the pouch showing where to place the zipper, tacking down the zipper, tacking down the top and the bottom liner. And let me look. Oh yeah, we taped the liner in place. All right, this is the square that's holding the whole top down. Now remember, after that is when it was time to stitch the name. So I'm good. We've done that. So the next step is going to show me where to put this key fob holder. So let's go ahead and stitch that. All right, so you see where it starts. It starts right here and it goes up to there. You see that? So that's showing us where we place this. So I'm going to set this right there with that extra hanging off because I'm okay with it being, let's make it a little bit longer, just a little bit. All right. And so now that that's there, now I'm going to tell it to go ahead and tack this in place. I probably should have taped it down, but y'all know I live dangerously. All right. So that's in place. So there we go. We got our key tag. So that's inside the bag to the front of the bag. So now let's move to our next step. And if I'm not mistaken, that's adding our front. Okay, so now we want to get the back piece of fabric. So the back piece of the fabric is this part. Okay, so this part goes next. When we're putting this part on, we want to concentrate on lining this up with what's already there because we have a design already in place, right? So let's pay attention to that as we lay this down. So we're going to lay this face down on top and up against what's already there. Let me go here, cover the entire project. Yep, that's what I thought. I like to double, triple, and quadruple read my instructions to make sure that I got everything real cool so it doesn't make me sad. All right, so this is in place. All right, I should tape this in place, but I live dangerously. So we're gonna go ahead and stitch this just like it is. All right, this is the back piece, right? So let's stitch this down. Nice, 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 nice. And it's gonna stitch through everything. Okay, boom, there we go right there. That's the back piece of fabric. And what I'm going to do is double check. Okay, making sure that I was thinking this through properly. So I'm going to take this off and make sure, you remember I taped that other lining down. I want to make sure that that didn't move, because if so, then I'm going to have to take all this apart and make sure, boom, look at that. It's in place like it's supposed to be. That's good. Now I'm going to go ahead and change my bobbin because I need my bobbin to be white. But at this point, now we need to get the back lining, the other lining. Remember, there's two pieces to line the inside, and we're going to lay it over the top of this, okay? So let me change my bobbin first before I forget. And then our bobbin was about out anyway. I don't know how well you can see that. We were about out of bobbin. We was about out of bobbin, y'all. Grab a new bobbin, and I'm almost out of white bobbins. Oh my gosh. Okay. So let's pull this out, pop that in. All right, and boom. There we go. All right, so that's done. Let's switch it over to the cutting table so that we can get our lining on. Right here. Okay, so now what we want to do is take our lining that's supposed to go back here. Remember, I cut that thing in half. Here we go. And we want to just lay it over the top, just like that, making sure it's covering everything. We can use the same piece of tape right here. Since this one is already stitched down, we can hold it down on that side, and on this side, since I've already thrown away the other piece of tape, we can get a piece and hold this side down. And there we have our lining in place. So we want to stitch this down with our next step. Okay, secure. Let me secure that corner because I can see that now flipping over and then getting caught and flipping out the place and make me flip tables. Let's go, boom, just like that. Cover that and cover that. All right, now we're good for the most part. So let's get this over to our embroidery machine and get John switched over to the embroidery machine. And if you were doing this lining and your lining has a print on one side and blank on the other, your lining, this lining piece would be face down. So the blank side of your fabric would be facing up. So I want to point that out. And look at this thing tripping. So I'm going to hold that. Whoop, look, I'm about to put it on wrong. Our zipper is on this side. So I need to turn this around. Because we've been working with the zipper up here all this time. So why change it now? I shouldn't. All right, now I'm going to take a peep up under here. And I'm going to hold this while this thing stitches. This last step. All right. So now we're going to stitch our last step. So let's lock that. And this is the last, is it? Okay. I was about to say, this is the last step on the embroidery machine. Uh-oh, hold on. My lining moved, y'all. Oh my gosh. Like I told you, something got to act monkey. So let's cut this. I didn't use enough tape. Oh no. Oh, see, it's done made the thing mad. I'm gonna have to get a what's a face, cause something, it got hemmed up in my fabric. Let's see. Oh no, it sucked the whole thing down into my bobbin case, y'all. That's crazy. Like I told you, it's always something that's gonna act monkey. But that's my fault because I should have yikes. I should have oh no, I don't want to do that because that will tear the, okay, I see you. I see you. And that's why it's important to have one of these around so that you can get up under there and fix boo-boos. Look what happened to my daggum liner, y'all. OMG. OMG. Look at that. Why? How? What in the world? Okay. So, now that that's out of there, let me make sure there's no fabric. I don't see any fabric under there. Okay, cool. All right, there we go. So let's see. Hopefully I didn't tear up nothing too bad. Because we got to finish this bag. All right, so I'm going to go back to the table and tape this sucker down betterer than what I had before. Now you see why it's important to tape stuff down. Now I could actually use spray adhesive. No, I don't want to use spray adhesive because if I use spray adhesive, it will be gummy on the inside of the bag because this is the back of the bag. This is going to be the inside facing that we'll see, and that'll make it sticky on the inside. So I don't want to do that. So let's tape it a little bit better this way. All right. And tape it a little bit better this way. A little bit better this way. And a little bit better this way. All right. Hopefully it'll work. Stay. All right. All right. Let's try this again. So let's go back to the machine, and hopefully I didn't tear my machine all the way up. Let's back this up to the beginning of where it was. And this time I'm going to hold this as, okay, so that's in place, that's nice and flat, that's out of the way. Let's try this again. All right. Hopefully I didn't tear this up. Stitch for me, please stitch. Yay! Okay. All right, now. Okay. Michelle Flowers, yes, the bag can be bigger. This is 5 by 7. There are 4 different sizes. All right. Yay! Boy, I tell you, no tassel yet. Use jump ring instead. Never go wrong with bling or tassels. Embellish, embellish, embellish. That's funny. Pull out the tassels. Multitasking. Yas. All right. So, fleece for the backing and minky for the front. That would be cute. That would be super cute. Hey, Felicia Storm. Welcome. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. I am using Sew It Pro, but with this one, it was straight from the file. So let's go back to the cutting table. That's it, y'all. That's it for the embroidery. Our embroidery is now done. So now comes the juicy part that is a bit of a challenge with the 4x4 embroidery machine because it's so much smaller. You know, we now have to flip this bag inside out. Oh, let me put my Cricut back on. Hold on. So there is one more step. All right, so let's unhoop everything, or you don't have to. You can just rip it out because it's tearaway. It's up to you, however you want to do it. All right, and so let me make sure I don't have any tape anywhere. Nope. All right, so what I do is this was the front. This is the back. Okay, if you look at the back, this very last stitch that ran left an opening right here. It's the only opening on here because this is all stitched completely closed. Under here is stitched completely closed. So here's an opening. All right. And you want to cut all the way around all of this, not super close to that line because you got so many layers, you might mess around and cut through some of these stitches. So not super close. You want to leave a good little bit, but you do want to cut along the line. And when you get here, I'll show you what to do. Okay. So I like to use my heavy duty cobalt scissors, and I'll go in at an angle where the opening is. I'm gonna go in at an angle, and then I'm going to now cut with these heavy, because that's a lot of layers. This is a thick with this particular placemat because I didn't take the lining off. It's super thick. Okay. And now let's cut here. All right. I cut a little too close, I think, but I didn't go through the line, so I'm good. And now let's go up here, all the way up the side and through the zipper. All right. Check the other side. I'm good. Now let's cut up here. All right. Check the other side. I'm good. And now cut through this zipper. All right. And now I'm back to the opening. So I'm going to angle out that way. And I'm going to cut all of this right here like that. Okay. So it leaves like a little bit of a tab here. A little bit of a tab. And I'll show you why that's important. So at this point, isn't my bag cute? I'm just kidding. So now we want to turn it inside out. All right. So here's our opening. And what I also like to do is get rid of these points. Okay. Because this is where we got to create a corner. and poke out the corners. So let's cut these to make life so much easier for cutting out these corners. All right, that's good. And now let's turn this inside out. And you want to be careful. And as I mentioned, this is the next size up from 4x4. There's two more sizes bigger than this. And the 5x7 is a challenge itself to turn inside out, because look, this is a lot of, if it was just the fat quarter type fabric, this would be a breeze, but it's not. You're talking about stabilizer, tearaway stabilizer. You're talking about 2 layers of the placemat, and you're talking about lining. Okay, so be patient with turning this inside out. Don't like super rush it, because you'll tear the lining. Because right now what you're turning all of that fabric against this one layer of lining. So if you're going to use placemats, I would find a fabric that's a pretty, pretty sturdy fabric, so you don't rip and tear. And that's also the reason why you don't want to cut too close to these stitches, because it'll tear right there. All right. So let's get this turned inside out. See if we can get these arthritic hands to cooperate a little bit faster. I forgot to change my bobbin thread, but it'll be all right. And I'm going to tell you something kind of funny story about my first time doing a zipper bag like this with a lining, and how I cried because once I got it, so here we want to poke these corners out. All right, poke this corner out. All right, now we want to poke this corner out, and it helps to have a poker. So if you have, don't use like scissors, because that's sharp, that'll cut through your fabric. Use like not a bamboo stick. What's the name of that stick? Like a dowel rod type stick or something like that, or not a sharpened pencil, but a flat pencil or something. All right. Like I said, it's tough with all of these layers. And I'm not going to take too much time doing this, because as I've mentioned many times in the past, this is my bag, so I don't care. But all right. So we're going to need to go back over to the Cricut and heat press, and I'll show you why. So the first time I did one of these zipper bags, I cried, okay? And you have an opening here. This is the opening that we just flipped this inside out. So you want to tuck this in on this side. You want to tuck it in. You know what? Well, I can't now. Tuck it in, and then we want to tuck this in. I should have cut that tassel, because that's extra bulk right there. I should have cut, but whatever. All right, see how I did that? I made it a little tuck sandwich. All right. And now I'm going to take you over to the other camera, my desk right here, and we are going to use the Cricut Easy Press and our hem tape again. Okay, so there's our little tuck sandwich, and this is how wide our opening is. So let's get some hem tape big enough to go in that opening. We're gonna shove it in and get that hem tape down in there. You definitely want to make sure that it's lined up with the edge there, so that it'll look like a nice hem, nice crease right there. So I'm going to press the Easy Press on this side, because you see how thick that is on that side? That's too thick to get the heat to the hem tape where it needs to be. So we need to press it on the thin side. All right. And It won't take much because it is thin. So we're just going to use the easy press, or an iron will work. You don't have to have an easy press. And if you want to be super fancy, you can go and you can press your seams and all that jazz if you want to be super fancy. But I don't want to be super fancy because we're done. Look at that. No, we're not. Look. Double check, triple, quadruple, 5 times check. Whatever 5 is. Okay. All right. Let's look again. Look at there. Boom. Good enough, I think. All right. So, first time I did a zipper pouch, I cried. I thought I messed it up because I mean, where's my pouch? I see it, but I don't see it. And it's because right here is where your zipper is. So you take this and you do your tear this away. If this was cutaway, if you use cutaway stabilizer, you would have to use scissors and cut this out. Okay. So let's tear all of this tearaway stabilizer away from the zipper, every bit of it, because you don't want this caught up in your zipper teeth as you're zipping and unzipping your pouch. So let's get that out of there. Boom. Let's get this out of there. Boom. All right. I thought I had messed up when I made this the first time, but I did not. I was so happy when I finally looked at it. All right, so here's our zipper. Our zipper is exposed. The back side of our zipper, that is. And so now what you want to do is reach in here and unzip this thing as best as you can. All right, unzip it and then flip your super cute bag. Oh. Super cute bag, super cute bag. Flip it inside out. It's a super cute bag, super cute bag. Oh my gosh, it's super cute. All right. Look at that mess right there. OMG. All right, so again, you got to poke out these dead blame corners again. All right, so a whole job and a half to turn these things. So imagine a 4x4 bag with thick fabric like this. So if you do the 4x4 bag, please don't do super thick fabric. If you do, don't say I didn't warn you. Okay, I'm going to use this pen because my fingers are starting to get mad at me. All right, so let's poke out that corner as much as possible. All right, let's poke out this corner as much as possible. And yes, honey, yes, y'all, yes. Oh my gosh, super cute. I do like the turquoise zipper. Look at it, super cute. And we will add our little tassel later because I didn't realize it is 11 o'clock. This thing took all of the show, most of the show. And we're done. We actually completed it. Yay. Let me go to the comments and switch you guys over to me. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? Look at it. It's little thing. It's just it lines up and everything. Look at that. OMG. We did a good job. Thank you, y'all. With your help, we did a fantabulous job with a placemat. With a placemat in the hoop. It is super, super cute. Yes. Yes. Yes, hunty. Yes. Yes. All right. So you can do in the hoop placemat zipper pouch. In the hoop placemat zipper pouch. This design, this zipper pouch design is designed by Little B. The link is in the description below. You can click there, download it, go get it, buy it, go get it. Give Melissa some support. She has some really cute in the hoop designs. Really easy to do. If all you have is a 4x4 embroidery machine, she has tons of in the hoop things that you can do with your 4x4 machine. Go get them, and they're affordable. Her stuff is affordable. You hear me? Please go get this design from her. All right, so that you can make your own zipper pouch. Now, she has many other types of zipper pouches. You got some with zippers down a little bit further, some where it's round, some where it's a shape. It doesn't matter. Go check her out. She has some awesome stuff. Also, I have links below for zippers, for the hardware. I also have the link for this particular font. This font is super cute. It is a Stitchtopia font, of course. We love Stitchtopia around here. So please go grab that Stitchtopia font as well. There's also a link a little bit further down for Stitchtopia. So if you've never bought a font from her before, if you've never bought anything from her website, you use my code, it'll get you 10% off your first order. Okay, so definitely click that link below. Either one of those links will take you to her website, and you can purchase and get you your own font. So again, I got the placemats from Hobby Lobby right now. Their spring stuff was on 90% clearance. So they had a good bit of placemats left at my store. Hopefully they'll have some there for yours. If they do and you make one, please post a picture in the Facebook group. We would love to see it, and we might even see about doing a giveaway off of who all does a placemat pouch, right? That would be fun. How fun would that be? All right, so I'll let you know for sure if we are able to do that. I may like give away some zippers or something, because you see I have buku zippers, so it wouldn't be that big of a deal to give some away. So at any rate, thank y'all for joining me tonight and making a super cute little zipper pouch. We had fun. As you see, it wasn't super hard. Please, if you ever get a chance, go check out Lori Newmaker. Her YouTube page shows how to make placemats turn placemats into other pouches, other types. They're not in the hoop though. They're sewing machine based, but they're super cute and really easy to make. And because of her videos, I was like, you know what? We should be able to use a placemat in the hoop some kind of way. And that's what started this ball to rolling. So definitely check her out, because I really think a super cute little tote would be really adorable to match this and go with it. And if I get a chance to make those, I'll definitely post pictures in the Facebook group. All right. So you guys, thank you so much. Let me go and make sure I don't have any questions before I log off, because I was doing this and then needed to go ahead and do that. So I stopped there. Let's see. I thought I saw a question, but I guess not. If I did miss a question, if you asked a question and I haven't answered it, post it again, please. Felicia, I do have something new, but the baby is, I need to make sure everything's right before we bring her on the show. All right, I have to make sure everything's right, because it would be kind of bummy to bring her on the show and it'd be like, oh no, she doesn't work, and that would suck. So I'm gonna make sure that I can get her up and going. Let's see. All these she sheds y'all talking about building, that would be fun. Pamela Bradley White, we definitely will keep your family in our prayers. Update me on your family if you don't mind, please. Please. Oh, we have another one of our viewers, you guys. I can't remember what her YouTube name is. I know her name, but I don't know for sure what her YouTube name is. And her daughter was pregnant and caught COVID and had to go into the ICU on COVID. It was so bad they had to get her to deliver the baby. The baby's good, thank goodness. The baby is in NICU, but she's doing rough. in the ICU, and she has two other little kids. So please, please, y'all, the hoop group, we're family. You know, send prayers. I wish I could remember what her YouTube name is, but I can't right now. But it's just this COVID thing is super serious, and I understand. You know, you have a right to choose with the vaccine. I totally get that. Totally get it. I made my choice. You have a right to make your choice. What I would like to ask is, please, y'all, consider wearing your masks if you're out and about. I understand that's a choice as well, but someone pointed out something to me today that just made all the sense in the world. Since we've been children, little teeny kids, our parents taught us to be polite when we cough or when we sneeze. You cover your mouth, or you cough and sneeze in your elbow, right? Yes, you can choose to cough and sneeze in your elbow, but most people do it out of respect and being polite. Please consider wearing your mask, y'all, because this stuff, I'm real sick of seeing people I love sick with this. I had it the first go round. I don't know that I would make it through the second go round. I'm here to tell you, because the first was rough, but the second, I don't know. And I just really would hate for something horrible. It, like, even with Miss Sheila Cushionberry and your family, y'all, this is tough, y'all. This is tough. Please be careful with this mess out here. Please, just be polite. Keep yourself covered. Cover your mask or whatever. I mean, you know, wear your mask. Cover your face, please, and help us all heal and get over this mess. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a little thing. It's not 100%. It's not going to guarantee that nobody gets it, but it's still one more layer of protection to help us each all out, each other. So, you know, I try not to get into folks' rights and all that stuff, but that's something that just, I mean, when that was pointed out to me, I was like, bruh, I ain't even put it on that level. So please, y'all, just look out for each other, because this is tough. And then you got hurricane. Oh God, y'all, this is tough. We going through the ringer right now. So please, Miss Beckham, 4 kids in your class, the grandkids class tested positive. You see what I'm saying? And the babies can't even get the vaccine. The babies can't get it, so they have to wear masks. But these folks are saying don't make the babies wear masks. Come on, bro. You make them cover their mouth when they cough. You make them cover their mouth when they sneeze. It's the same principle. It really is. If you stop and think about it, it's the same principle. But anyways, let me hush before I get in trouble. Um, let's make sure beeswax candles. Ooh, you got 6 beehives? Oh, Barb, my friend. I love honey. We're gonna have to buy some honey from you. Please tell me how I can buy honey from you. Let's see. 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 I'm glad y'all like the bag, and I hope y'all have a good week. Love the colors. The colors did work out well together. Thank you very, very, very much. Um, Super cute. Stitchtopia. The font. Oh, the font is. The font is Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe font, and I'll change it in the description as well. This is Lake Tahoe font, Felicia. So yes, 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 yes. You can still get it with a vaccination, but mask won't kill you, but COVID can. You ain't ever lied. You see my comment, Andrea? Let's see. Andrea, I sent you the link for the tote in the messenger. Okay, cool. Sweet. If I don't already have it. I went on another spree buying designs because I thought I was going to do a tote with you guys, but I was like, a sewing machine. I don't want to do a sewing machine. I want to do an embroidery machine. So, and then I found a really cute in the hoop um zipper pouch, but it was a little bit bigger than what I normally see. And the way it was made was adorable, but it was a little bit on the expensive side for me to be doing last second like this. So I couldn't do it this time around, but hopefully we'll be able to do it on the next time. So next week, what we'll do is see about possibly either sublimation or some DTF. I haven't figured out which one just yet, but meanwhile, I enjoyed this. This was fun doing with you guys. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. And thank you for, it looks like there was more super chats done tonight and I must have missed them. If so, I apologize. Yeah, Mina, I apologize. I did not see your super chat. Thank you, Mina, for the super chat. If you're watching this later, thank you. Woo, we like super chats. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate that. And for everyone that joined us this evening, it was fun. But tonight I was tired because we did our captains live tonight and now this back to back. So I'm getting ready to go to bed. You guys have a good night. Please, if you make one, post a picture of it. I would love to see it. And meanwhile, if you can't find placemats, if I find some at my Dollar Tree, and we have extras, I'll see about letting you know. And if I need to hook somebody up, let me know, okay? All right, you guys, have a good night. Look forward to seeing you next week here live on the Baby's Booty channel. Thanks, and have a good evening. Bye.